Okay. So how many folks are in now? 5, 6? Okay. Hello, your Siddur is right there. And there's a prayer for the Ukraine if you want to take that as well.
There's a prayer. Thank you. Yes.
Okay. Hi-da-dai, hi-da-dee, hi-da, hi-da-dee, hi-da-dai, hi-da-dee, hi-da-dai, hi-da-dee, hi-da, hi-da-dee, hi-da, hi-da-dee, hi-da, hi-da-dee, hi-da, hi-da-dee, Shabbat Shalom, welcome. Those of you who are here,
Shalom.
nice to see human beings in the pews. It's very nice. And you give me your names, everybody. Small group, you get to know each other a little bit. Go ahead. What's your name? Esteban. Myron. Helen. Louisa. Okay. Then we have Gary coming in, picking up a siddur as he comes in. So my friends, it's great to see all of you. So those of you who are online, welcome as well. We are, of course, in a very interesting times, and I'm going to try to perhaps avoid a little bit of it because I think we need a bit of receiving the gift of Shabbat. And the gift of Shabbat really is the capacity to perhaps broaden our perspectives and hopefully see the bigger picture, which most people don't really care to see. So we will begin by Hadlakat Nerot, by lighting candles. For those who are following, it's on page 1. And there's a very beautiful little poem there that you might want to read as we invite people here to come up as we light our candles. Come on up. Don't worry about it. One beautiful saying, or let's say, interesting way of interpreting why we have two candles. The traditional one is because when the Shabbat is mentioned in two versions of the 10 sayings, it says Zachor and Shamor. So one's for each, to remember Shabbos, to have Shabbos consciousness, and to guard the Shabbat. And having Shabbos consciousness is very important because even if you don't observe Shabbat, but you know it's Shabbat, it's already a big step, So they say that this is also the male and female, yin and yang. And by the time Shabbat will end, the candle we will use will be intertwined. And a sense about what Shabbat allows us to be is allows us to be who we really are, and to understand that it's all connected. Everyone is connected, no matter what their orientation is. Everybody's all connected. And ultimately, all of us have to be intertwined with each other. So we'll be lighting candles. If you want to set up your candles, it's a good time to do it. Holy One of blessing, your presence fills creation. Your presence fills creation. Oh, your presence fills creation. Oh, Holy One of blessing, your presence fills creation. Your presence fills creation. Your presence fills creation. We take in the light of Shabbat candles to connect with the inner light within us, to make it more bright, make it more shiny. We close our eyes and we say, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Eloheinu melech haolam, Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu להדליק נר של Shabbat. Good Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom. Return to our seats.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? Good. Hi, rai, rai, ri, rai, rai. Hi, rai, 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 rai. Hi, rai, rai, ri, rai, rai, rai. Hi, rai, 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 rai. Hi, rai, ri, rai, rai, rai. Hi, rai, ri, rai, rai. Hi, rai, ri, rai, rai, rai. Hi, rai, ri, rai, rai. Hi, ri, rai, rai. hi da da di da da, hi da da di da 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 da, hi da da di da da. Page 2, my friends. Yedid nefesh harachman mishor avdecha el ritzonecha yarut avdecha kimo ahayal yishtachave el emol hadorecha yerav lo yedidutecha mino vetzuf. How splendid is your light, which worlds do reflect. My soul is one from craving for your love's delight. Please, good God, to heal her and show her your face, so my soul can see you and bathe in your grace. There she will find strength and healing in the sight. Her joy will be complete and eternal her delight. Vatik yebuna rachamecha vechusana al benavuvecha ki ze kama nitzachti לראות מהרה בתפארת עוזך אלה חמדה ליבי וחוסנה ואל תתעלם. Oh, help my lover spread your canopy of peace, enfold all human beings, give all pain surcease. Your presence on this earth plane do make known to us, and we shall respond with song and with dance. Rush, my love, be quick, the time for love is now. Let your gentle favor grace us as of old. We turn the page. We'll be singing 7 psalms tonight as Kabbalat Shabbat, which means the receiving of the Shabbat. And those 7 psalms each represent a day of the week. So the first one is for Sunday, etc., until we get to Shabbat. After Lechadodi would be the 7th one. And what we have a custom of doing here for a very long time is that when we get to a psalm, let's say for Sunday, the first one, think back to Sunday and think about what you want to leave behind that you don't want to drag into Shabbos with you, right? Maybe some small thing or maybe some large thing. Leave it, because guess what? You'll have problems next week too, I promise you. It's not going to be, it's always something. And if you have something that really you want to cherish and bring in, it could be a small thing. You bring it into Shabbat with you. It could be as small as a hello from a friend you haven't heard from in a while. Whatever it is, bring it into Shabbat. So page 3. Lechu neranena la'Adonai nari aletzul yishenu nikad mafana betoda bezmirot nari alo ki elegadol Adonai umeleg gadol al kol Elohim אשר בידו מחקרי הארץ ותועפות הרים לו. היי ריי 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 Let's read together at page 4, at the top of the page. Let me hear you here. We have some wonderful people here. It's nice to get a response. Zoom is very frustrating. You don't really get responses. A great pianist was once asked by an ardent admirer, how do you handle the notes as well as you do? And the artist answered, the notes I handle no better than many pianists, but the pauses between the notes, that's where the art resides. In great living, as in great music, the art may be in the pauses. Surely one of the enduring contributions which Judaism made to the art of living was the Shabbat, the pause between the notes. And it is to the Shabbat that we must look if we are to restore to our lives the sense of serenity and sanctity which Shabbat offers in such joyous abundance. We turn the page. Monday, thinking back to Monday. Shiru l'Adonai, shir echada, shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, shiru l'Adonai baruchu shemo, pasru miyom liyom yeshuato, sapru vagoyim kivodo, vechol ha'amim nifleotav, כי גדול יה ומהולל מאוד, נורא הוא על כל אלוהים, כי כל אלוהי העמים אלילים, ואדוני שמיים עשה, הוד והדר לפניו, עוז ותפארת במקדשו. אהבו לאדוני משפחות אבים, אהבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז, הבו לאדוני כבוד שמו, שאו מנחה ובואו לחצרותיו, השתחוו לים ועד לקודש, חילו מפניו כל הארץ. אמרו בגויים אדוני מלך, עתיקות תבל בל תימות, ידין עמים במישרים. ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ותגל הארץ. ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ותגל הארץ. ירם הים, ירם הים, ירם הים ומלוא, ירם הים, ירם הים, ירם הים ומלוא, יעלו שדי בכל השמו, אשר רננו כל עצי יאמר, לפני אדוני קיווה, קיוו לשבת הארץ, ישפוט טבע בצדק, וימים באמונתו. In the following page, light is sown for the tzaddik, the just one, and simcha, gladness, for those who are ethical. Tzaddikim, just ones, rejoice in Yah and give thanks to God's holy name. Or zarua letzaddik, וליישרי לב שמחה, שמחו צדיקים ביה, והודו לזכר קודשו. That was Tuesday. Here's Wednesday on page 8, Psalm 98. שירו לאדוני Shir Chadash. Sing unto Yah a new song. For Yah has performed marvelous things, and God's right hand and holy arm has been the source of God's own salvation. Yah's help and righteousness has been known and has been revered by all the Goyim, the nations. Yah has remembered the mercy and faithfulness bestowed on the house of Israel. All the ends of the earth have seen the salvation of our God. Lift your voices to Yah, all the earth. Break forth and sing for joy and offer up praises. Sing praises to Yah with the aid of the harp and the melodious voice, with trumpets, and sound the horn. Shout before the sovereign Yah. Let the seas roar and that it contains, the world and that they dwell in it. Let the rivers clap their hands and let all the mountains sing for joy before Yah. For Yah comes to judge the earth, and God will judge the world with righteousness and the peoples with equity. Lifnei Adonai kiva lishmot haaretz, yishbot tevel betzedek, v'yamim b'mei sharim. Thursday, my friends, on page 9. Raise Yah, it says in the English translation of what we're going to sing in a moment. Raise Yah. Yah is the way really you have to pronounce, if you will, the shortcut for the 4-letter name. Yah. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Yah. Okay. Anachnu nevarech.
Yeah.
Yah. So it's nothing I made up. It's there. And it really is good to have a Yah because it's a breath word. And the only way you really can pronounce God's name is through breathing. It's the only way. So in a sense, if you become, certainly those of us who sit in meditation, is that by paying attention to each breath is saying God's name. So being alive is a very important prerequisite for being able to raise Yah up. And being alive doesn't mean only being awake. Awake helps, but to be alive is to mine, M-I-N-E, to mine all of the deep places within you and to give you the energy, to give you that wonderful, if you will, capacity to be so much and so many things. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki gadosh ya Eloheinu. Oh, ki gadosh ya Eloheinu. Ay, la, 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 la. Yabba-da-bim, bum-bye. Ay, la, 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 la. Ay, la, 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 la. Ay, la, la, la. Yabba-da-la, la. Ay, la, 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 la. Ay, 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 la, la, ay, la, la, ay, la, 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 la. Ay, la, ay, la, la, ay, la, la, ay, la, 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 la. Romemu Yah Eloheinu ve'ishtachave lehar kodsho. Romemu Yah Eloheinu ve'ishtachave lehar kodsho. Ki gadosh Yah Eloheinu. Oh, ki gadosh Yah Eloheinu. Friday, the following page, Psalm 29. And this is a wonderful psalm. The translation here is by Norman Fisher, who is a remarkable meditation teacher. He'll be online with us on the 20th of March if you really want to sign up. He's really a remarkable teacher. He's also a Zen Buddhist, if you will. He's really high up in teaching Zen Buddhism, but he's also very, very interested in teaching Jewish meditation. And he does both, and it's wonderful. It's nice to see how he combines those two. And he's done a number of translations here for our Siddur. And one thing I really appreciate is his ability to really delve into the Hebrew in a way that it reveals all kinds of stuff. Remember, interpretation has an important role. It's not just to translate. You can get Google to translate, right? The question is, when you read, how do you see what's being revealed to you? How do you get away with clearing away and then letting it emerge? So he ends by saying, this psalm is a beautiful psalm. You sat unmoving in the flood time. Your sitting in sovereignness constant, and you reflect the strength in our inmost hearts, so that we may be blessed with peace. Adonai lehemabu yashav, vayeshev ya melech liolam, ya oz liamo yiten, ya yivarech et amo b'shalom. Lecha Dodi on page 12. You all have to be part of this, okay? Okay, I'll be reading the first part of each line, and you'll be reading the second part. I'll sing along so people can hear at home, unless we get Danny to do it. The tune is a tune many of you like. There's a wonderful place in it where you all clap. You'll see where in a moment. And it's a beautiful Sephardic tune from the Sephardic tradition. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat Kabbalat. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat Kabbalat. Shamor v'zochor b'diבור echad, Ishmiyanu el hameyuchad. Adonai echad u'shmo echad, Shemo letiferet ve'ledila. Ay rai 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 rai. Ay rai 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 rai. I'm looking at everybody online. I hope you're clapping.
Oh, they're doing it.
Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat Kabbalat. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat Kabbalat. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mikor haberacha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof maaseh b'machshavat tchila. Ay rai 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 rai. Ay rai 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 rai. Everybody now. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat Kabbalat. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat Kabbalat. Migdash Melech Hir Melucha, Kumitzi Mitoch Hafecha, Rahav Lakshevet Memek Habacha, Vehu Yachmol Alai Chemla. Ay rai 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 rai. Ay rai 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 rai. We turn the page. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat Kabbalat. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat Kabbalat. Shake off the dust, my people arise. Robe yourself with light and joy. The future within is revealed now. The freedom to be enters my soul. Ay rai 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 rai. Ay rai 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 rai. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat Kabbalat. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat Kabbalat. Hitoreri, hitoreri, ki va'orech kumi ori, ori ori, shida
Adon Melech Nigla, ay, rai, 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 rai. Ay, 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 rai. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela.
לא תבושי ולא תקלמי, מה תשתוכחי ומה תמי, יחסו עניי עמי, ונבנתה העיר אהבתילה. איי 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 איי. Page 14. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. והיו למשיסו שוסייך, ורחקו כל מבלייך, יסיס עלייך אלוהייך, כי ימסוס לב לאהבה. איי ליי 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 ליי. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Spread your vision east and west, worship the source
of all existence.
within your heart is Messiah's grace. Let us rejoice and let us sing. We're
all invited to join outside with the
join
computer
us
as we
outside
welcome
as we greet Shabbat.
Shabbat.
Thank you.
בואי בשלום עטרת עלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמונה המסגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, היי 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 פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. The seventh psalm is on page 15. This is a psalm for the Shabbat day. Now, since you haven't yet experienced Shabbat this week, so it's hard to go back and review. So what we do now is we think about how Shabbat will be for us. What will you try this week that you didn't try last week or the week before? Will you be able to turn off the computer? Freedom. Will you be able not to answer the phone immediately? There's voicemail. Don't worry about it. Right? Anything really important, they'll probably get to you. So that's really the kavanah here, the directed intentionality when we do Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat, Psalm 92. So it's really creating intentionality. That's a very important thing in life. And Shabbat is, people jump in to observe all of Shabbat. It's really not possible. It's much better to take step by step by step, building on Shabbat. When we finally get through with this COVID, I'm hoping more and more people will be invited to Shabbos dinners. More and more people will be able to congregate and to really enjoy Shabbat. Because one of the real joys of Shabbat is that you leave a little bit of your work life behind. You leave all of your work life behind. And you concentrate on friends, family, good meals, taking a good nap. We're moving the clock this week. Shabbos will end later. You can get a good nap in. You can take a nice walk. You can do all sorts of wonderful things that you might not get a chance to do during the week. If you have a favorite CD that you don't have a chance to listen to. What's a CD? One person asked me. Right? It's CD, it's ancient history. But if you have something you really want to listen to that you've not been able to, take some time on Shabbat. Take some time on Shabbat. You know, we're not expecting people to take, on every kind of observance of Shabbat. But we want to develop Shabbat consciousness and develop the fact that you, as we often say here, you make Shabbat and Shabbat makes you. Remember, that's true of most things in the world, by the way. You make it. And hopefully it works for you and it works for those around you. So Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat, page 15, this transliteration. Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat. Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat. Tov lehodot laya ולזמר לשמך עליון, להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בכינור, כי שמחתני יה בפניך במעשה ידיך ארנן, מה גדלו מעשיך היה מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך, איש בר לא ידע וכסיל לא יבין את זאת, היי It is a good thing to give thanks to Yah and to sing praises to your exalted most high name, Elyon, the most high. To declare your loving kindness in the morning and your faithfulness in the nights. With an instrument of 10 strings, with the navel, the dulcimer, with a solemn sound upon the kinnor, the harp. For you, Yah, has made me glad. Through all your great works, I will be joyous and exult in the works of your hands. How great, Ma Gadlu, are your works, Yah. Your thoughts arise from the very depths of creation. A brutish person will not perceive this, nor will a fool comprehend this. We'll be singing the last 4 lines on page 15. And these are the words. The righteousness shall flourish like the palm tree. They shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Yah, they shall flourish in the courts of our God. They will still bring forth fruit in old age, and they will be juicy and rich with sap. Rich with sap. Great word. Rich with sap. To declare that Yah is upright, my rock, in whom there is no falsehood or wickedness. Last 4 lines. Tzaddik ata ma yifrach ke'eres b'Lebanon yizge shetulim bebeit Yah b'chatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu ojenu בסבע דשנים והרננה להגיד כי ישר יצורי ולא עוולה תבוא. The Shabbat Psalm is always accompanied by the Psalm's little sister, and that's Psalm 93. It's interesting. It's rarely said alone. And that page basically talks about, again, this idea of strength, of establishment, of being able to weather all of the turbulence that we have around us. And we'll sing the last middle of the page, Mikolot Mayim Rabim. Mikolot Mayim Rabim. The river cries, the river shouts have been lifted. The rivers have lifted their dark waves. But more than the thunder of the waters, more than the thumping of the seas is you. Your witnessing is steadfast. Your house is ever whole, even past the end of time. Mikolot mayim rabim, adirim mishpereyam, adirim mishpereyam, adim amarom ya, adim amarom ya, edotecha nemnu meod, lebeitcha navakodesh, Adonai, liorech yamim, Adonai, liorech yamim. If you are in mourning or have a yard site this coming week, the Kaddish is found on page 17. If you're able to rise, please rise. If it's your custom to rise during Kaddish, you're invited to do so as well. Page 17. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol bet Yisrael. Ba'agala uv'zman kariv v'yimru.
Amen.
Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach v'olam u'mei maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpo'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekutsha. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Tamiran bi'olma v'yimru.
Amen.
Yehei shlom Rabbah min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru. Amen. You may be seated. I'm going to ask to put up the Levavi. You guys got that, Lev? Going to put something on the screen. I don't have the words. We're working
Yes.
to print. We have the words printed.
We don't have the printout, but we do have on the screen, which Lev will screen share a
Well, I don't
special
know how people
piyut.
from the crowd will see the screen, but it's okay. Okay. So this is a tune that you may have heard if you ever come to the second service on Yom Kippur. It's a song that was written not too long ago, but it really is appropriate for us to sing because we are beginning the third book of the 5 books of the Torah. And the third book is called Leviticus. And many of you may be familiar with the fact that the book is filled with the description of the offerings. And just a word about offerings. The translation often of korbanot, which is the Hebrew word for it, is not really very accurate because they always translate it as sacrifices. And it's not. It's if you see the word, it has in it the root of karov, closeness. So a very good translation that I think Everett Fox in his translation said, they are coming closer offerings. Coming closer offerings. That you offer something to, when you come to the temple, the Bet HaMikdash, the Holy Temple in Jerusalem, you brought something in order to give to the host. And by having that received, you have developed a sense of, and I use the word communion, okay? But that's what it is, communion, coming together. So you do this all the time, except maybe during COVID you didn't do it enough. But you go to a friend's house and what do you bring? Wine. What else? You guys don't bring anything to people? Flowers, right? Candy, dessert, whatever it is. You bring something. And you offer it to your host. And your host takes it. And you'll all partake of it. So you become, in a sense, of communion, right? With those people around you. So, however, since the Bet HaMikdash no longer exists, I thought we would sing this song. I'll send the tune first and then we'll get the words. Belevavi mishkan evne lehadar kevodo uleva mishkan hasim lekarne hodo ulener tamid ekach li et esha keda ולקורבן אקריב את נפשי גאלה, ולנר תמיד אקח לי את אש העקדה, את נפשי היחידה. It basically says, I will build for myself a tabernacle, a mishkan, for the sake of your glory and splendor. And in that mishkan, I will put myself. Okay, it's a beautiful idea. And for the daily light that is lit every day in the mishkan, I will take the fire of the binding of Isaac, even though there wasn't any fire there, but okay. And for an offering, I will offer up my soul, my singular soul. It's a very important word. Nafshi hayichida. Each of us has a singular soul. Each of us have that piece which is entirely you. We share chromosomes, right, with everything that's alive. And that little, I think it's 99% something they said. I'm not sure. And there's 1% there that you don't share with anybody because it's essential, your soul, it's you. So what do we have and how do we make this Coming Closer offering? What unique contribution can each of us make? And I think that's really important as you go through your life to realize there's an offering that only you can offer because you are you. This is true with your friends. You have to bring yourself to your friends. If you have an activity, you have to find which activity you do best. Because ultimately, that's the choices we make, is how we offer ourselves up. Now, in this time of great trouble, I was watching, of course, like many of us watching, and one fellow was working in a sort of a food pantry in one of the cities that was under attack. And he said, I don't think I could fire a rifle. So I had to find the place that I could make my contribution. That's a very deep thing. Just because everyone was taking a rifle doesn't mean that that person had to, but that person said, I have something else to give. I'm organized. I can give that organization. Or I sing. People were singing. People were playing instruments. I don't know if you saw the people playing during all of this turmoil. So this is something that's a good lesson for all of us, I believe, is that we build a mishkan, we build a holy dwelling, and that holy dwelling is our structure, our body, our cumulative talents that we have developed. And each of us have the capacity to take those talents and to use them in the best way we can. I think this is really one of the real problems in today, that people do not offer up their individuality. They join a group. The group defines them, right? Or they join a cult, and the cult defines them. I don't have to go further, you know what I mean. And these folks, without, I think, any real bad feelings, etc., but feel that they don't have a voice themselves. Their voice will not be heard. So you join the herd. If I could play on that word. You join the herd. And admittedly, the herd's voice can be very loud, but sometimes could be a very unreasonable one. It could be something that really betrays some deep place within yourself. But you carry on. The throng. It's like in baseball games. One guy stands up for something and cheers, and pretty soon everybody's looking around. The second guy gets up and cheers. The third guy, I can see why people do become part of a crowd, right? The wave, whatever it is, right? We want to be part of the wave. And that's a wonderful thing, because that doesn't expect for me to give my singular soul. I can't play first base. I mean, as much if I had the talent, maybe I could play first base. So this is a challenge for us. It's a challenge for us to know ourselves. And this is really the classic, if you will, idea of know thyself. Know thyself. Know what you have. Appreciate what you have. Don't be, if you will, in a situation that says, I wish I was like X, Y, and Z because they have this great talent. Rather, appreciate that talent. Take it into yourself. Saying, isn't that wonderful that you're sharing, you're offering with me. You play the violin so beautifully. And I sit back and I enjoy it and take it in. And that's really a coming closer offering. That's something that we bring of ourselves. You can only absorb music or anything else as yourself. Yes, it helps being, I think, in an auditorium. There's something about the power of that. But ultimately, how that piece of music is going to change your life, or you're going to absorb it, and it's going to give you a sense of comfort, or give you a sense of hope. And that's what music does provide, by the way, a sense of hope. Music is very important. I'll take a side trip for a minute. There was an exhibit at the Clark Museum. Anybody know the Clark Museum, Williamstown? Fantastic place, right? So now I have to say, everything now is 3 years ago because two years went. So about 3 years ago, I was up there with Ann, and there was an exhibit by a woman named Cardiff. It was a traveling exhibit. It had been many places in the world. And what this woman did profoundly was you had a hall, an exhibit hall, and she surrounded the hall with small speakers on stands, 40 of them, okay? And you could either walk around when the music was playing, or you could sit in the center. And they played a remarkable thing, Spem Alium, which is by Abraham Tallis. He wasn't a Jew, but Abraham Tallis created this motet of 40 voices, 8 groups of 5. So it played, and it was unbelievable. It was this piece of music that created a tremendous amount of spaciousness. That's what was wonderful about it. So you can insert yourself in. The spaciousness allowed. And you could either walk around and hear all the individual voices, or sit in the middle and hear them all. And it runs about 12 minutes, and you are overcome with this strange idea that there is harmony in the world. That harmony is actually possible. And being exposed to that harmonic, beautiful motet, you come out of that exhibit hall hopeful. Hopeful. And that's what music can provide us. The sense of how it is possible for 100 instruments, right? And each individual brings his or her talent to it. That's what makes it work, right? An orchestra has to have each person be pretty good at what they do in order to sort of get it together. So this idea of harmony is only possible in this world, and we need it so much, is to basically be able to contribute our deep selves. Nafshi ayichida, my singular soul. So I leave you with this because ultimately there's no easy way to do it. Some of you may be more self-reflective, some are not. Some of them are afraid to look inside themselves, afraid of what they'll find. Others are rediscovering stuff that's bringing them tremendous joy. And I think that's really the challenge. It's not a problem, it's a challenge. And I hope all of us can meet that challenge, and that all of us will make the contributions that we can make, And hopefully we will make them first and foremost with those who are near to us. Korban, coming closer. Karov, relative. So reach out to people around you and bring yourself to them. And guess what? It will happen to you that you will recognize their uniqueness. And that's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So Shabbat Shalom. We'll begin Ma'ariv on page 18. We'll just sing this kavanah. This is again a kavanah, a directed intentionality. A vision of Shabbat, page 18. And inside the profound meaning of being at one. Through the service of Kabbalat Shabbat, the throne of glory is prepared for the Holy One. With the arrival of Shabbat, the Shekhinah is liberated from all forces of evil and harsh judgment, leaving her free for intimate union with the holy light, adorned with many crowns by the Holy One. All kingdoms of anger, all dominions of judgment, flee from her presence. No alien power reigns in all the universe. No alien power reigns in all the worlds. She is bathed in light from on high, while receiving a crown of Shabbat prayers from earth. From us, the holy people, all of us are adorned with fresh additional souls, which are ours on Shabbat. Then we begin Shabbat prayers, in gladness on our faces, released from thoughts of severity and judgment, uttering Baruch Hu, praise Yah, as Shabbat blessings and peace begin to flow. Danny is going to lead us in Ma'ariv, beginning on page 19. If you're able to rise, please rise.
Ay, 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 Shabbos. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Yeah, bye, 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 bye. Baruch Hu et Adonai, HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai Mevorach, Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Mevorach, Leolam Vaed. We may be seated, page 19. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro mari varvim, b'chokhma p'teach she'arim, uftema b'shanei itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umesader et ha'chochavim, b'shmioteim b'kira ketzono, b'reim v'layla, gole or mipnei choshech, v'hoshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom, u'mivei layla, umavdil ben yom, u'mivei layla, Adonai tzevot shemo, Echai v'kayam tamim ochalinu le'elam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, Hamari v'aravi.
Amen, amen.
And we'll take some time to think about that love deep within ourselves, that love that is unique to ourselves. Avat olam.
The everlasting love you have of the house of Israel, Torah and mitzvot, most of judgment, all this have taught us. Therefore, the Eloheinu, lie down and rise up. Rejoice in the words of
Kim chayinu ve'achimenu v'imnegim v'lala, because they are our life forces and they give us lengthening in our days. Ve'avatzecha teseh mimenu le'alamim, Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev amo Yisrael.
Amen.
Shema.
Shema.
Yisrael.
Yisrael.
Adonai. Eloheinu. Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha vehayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibartam bam b'shivtecha b'beitecha uvlechtecha b'derech uv'shokpecha uv'kumecha וקשרתם לאות על ידיך ולא תטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. And we'll continue on our own meeting at the end of the Hebrew on 23.
Carefully follow the way of the show, the way of justice, the life, and the earth will flourish, righteousness, riches. Pure rain will fall in the season. They will be about to flourish, the life is and oil. There will be food enough for all, and all will be able to partake of it. Will exploit others, no others should be separate from one. But beware, if I follow another path, which is God's desire, to separate one from another, apart control the heavens will be poisoned, creation will fall into the eye, and soon disappear from this good earth. Therefore I press his words upon my heart to anger and my hands to violence. I set them before my eyes to see that what it was all by word of my feet I teach them. I repeat them at home and away, morning and night. I write them on the doorposts of my home and upon my gate, that my dwelling be a haven from ignorance and delusion.
אני אענה לכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Page 25. ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם. משה ומירים ובני ישראל לכנו ישר בשמחה רבה ואמרו כולם מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נדר בקודש נורא תהילות עושה Your children saw your rulership, splitter of the sea before Moses. This is my God. They responded and said, Adonai imloch leolam vaed. And it is written, for the eternal saved Jacob and redeemed him from the mighty hand. Baruch atah Adonai Ka'al Yisrael.
Amen. Amen.
Cause us, the English on page 26, eternal our God, to lie down for well-being and help us arise, our ruler to life. Spread over us the shelter of your well-being and fix in us good counsel in your presence. Save us for the sake of your name and shield us. Keep us far from enmity, illness, strife, hunger, and fear. Keep oppressors from confronting or pursuing us. Let us be covered by the shadow of your wings. For you are a protector and helper. Mercy and compassion is your rule. Guard our going out and our coming in for life and for well-being from this time forth and forever. Guard our going out and our coming in for life and for well-being for this time forth and forever. Ufros aleinu sukat shelomecha. Ufros aleinu sukat shelomecha. Ufros aleinu sukat shelomecha. Ufros aleinu sukat shelomecha. Baruch atah Adonai Haporeh Sukat Shalom Aleinu ve'al Amo Yisrael ve'al kol Amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol Ha'olam. Ay, 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 ay. We rise, page 27.
Amen, amen.
Vishameru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני
את השמיים ואת הארץ
ואת הארץ ואת הארץ וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. איי 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 Take some silence before our Chatzi Kaddish leading us into the Amidah. In the Amidah, the words are found from page 29 to page 39. I encourage you to think about if you want to dive into the Gvura we have on our left side and move over there, or the Chesed on our right side, the compassion, or the boundaries. But for now, we'll just take some silence. Higada v'gada shmei Abba
Amen.
V'amad yivrachiote v'michmachute b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayedecho beit Yisrael Magala bagala uv'izman kariv imeru
Amen.
Yeshmei Rabba bevorach le'olam ve'ol ve'amaya Yisbarach Yisbarach V'yishtabach V'yitbar v'yitmam v'yitnaseh v'yitada v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shmei dekdusha b'rechu leila mikol bechata v'shurata Tush bechata v'nechemata Damiran bi'alema V'meru
יסרה, לרבקה, לרחל, ולאחר לקדוש גיבורנו. כל מלך חסדים טובים, בני יעקב וחסדי אבות, מביא גואל לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה. מלך עושה למשל מגן ברוך, עתו עדינו, מגן אברהם מפוקד שרה. תגיבור לעולם ענן בחיים, הייתם תרא משיח מעשי, והרוח מוליד הגושם. ואחר כחי בחסד וחיים עץ מלך מלאמים סומך נאות וכל המרתיב הסמונים וקיים ומרדות שרפה. מי כמוך בגבולות מדבר לך בן בשיעור. נאמר אתה עושה מעשים ברוך אדוני בחיים עשם אתה קדוש שמך קדוש קדוש מורים סלו. ברוך אתה היה האל הקדוש אתה קידש היום השביעי שמך. תהק לי מעשה שמיים וארץ וברכת בכל הימים. וקידשת מכל הזמנים בחיות ובזרזך ויכולו שמיים וארץ וכל זמן ויכולו יום השביעי ולכתו אשר עשה וישפוט ביום השביעי ולכתו אשר עשה. ויברך אלוהים מיום השביעי קדושתו כמו שבת ומלאכתו אשר ברם לעשות. אלוהינו לאבותינו ואבותינו לצמח בתינו קדשנו מצוותיך ותנהגנו בזוהר זכר. סבינו בטבח וסבינו בשמו זכר. ותעליבנו לעבדך באמת. הנתחילנו ונעלינו באהבה ורצון שבת קודשך וברוך ברוך קדש שמך ברוך אתה אדוני וקדש השבת. רצי אדוני אלוהים תפילתם והשם דעבדו בזכר. ואישי ישראל תפילתם באהבה תקבל ברצון לרצון תמיד עבודת ישראל עמך. תחזינה עינינו בשוב חודש יברחם. ברוך אתה אדוני מחזה שכנתו לציון. מודים אנחנו לך. שאתה אדוני אלוהים ואבותינו צור חיינו מגישינו עדות עבודות עבדיך נספד ידך על חיינו המסורים בידיך. ועל נשמותינו הבגוד לך. ועל ניסך שמול יום ימונה ונפוסך ותורזך ובולט וערב ובוקר צהריים. הטוב כלך רחמך ורחם ידך באלוהים גיבינו לך. ועל כולה מתברך ותרמם שם בכל מהגנו תמיד ובית כל החיים בתוך הסלם. והללו את שבך ובן סובל ישובתנו סלם. ברוך עתו עדינו הטוב שבך ולך נאה להודות. שלום רב וישראל בך ותעשים לעולם. שלום רב ותעשים לעולם. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון עולם השלום. וטוב בעיניך לבוא לך בכל ישראל וישבו ברוך עתו עדינו המבורך את עמו ישראל בשלום. אלוהי נצור בשביל ברעב. הסלמן הוסה שולם אמרם הבס בברכו ישראל כל יושבי תבל ויאמרו אמן.
Imrei fi ve'yon libi lefanecha Adonai tzori Adonai tzori Vegoali Yehu le'atzon Imrei fi ve'yon libi lefanecha Adonai tzori Adonai tzori vegoali May the prayers and the meditations on all of our hearts be heard by the Holy Blessed One and bring some peace to us. This whole week I've been thinking about, like many Jews in the world, the first part of Parshat Vayikra, the very first line. We started a new Torah portion and a new Sefer Torah, Parshat Vayikra. And it goes, Vayikra el Moshe v'deber anai alav me'ol moed lemor. And then there's a whole Torah portion. So God called out to Moshe and said to him from the tent of meeting, these 5 chapters. Now, the fascinating part about this, which has been a source of commentary for generations, is that if you look in the Sefer Torah, we'll see in ours tomorrow, the Aleph of Vayikra is very small. In order to be a kosher scroll, we need to have it be small. That is part of our tradition of what it means to have Vayikra, is to have that Aleph be small. And I'm not the first to ask this question, nor will I be the last. But there's a source that I love the most out of all this, from the medieval period, more or less, by Yaakov ben Asher, who is a great halachic Jewish law commentator. And he says, regarding the small aleph of Vayikra, meaning, and God called, Moshe actually wanted to write Vayikar, meaning, and it happened. As if it implies God appeared to Moshe only as a chance occurrence. That just happened to be that God appeared to Moshe out of all the people in the world. But God said to Moshe to still write the aleph, making it Vayikra, and God called. But Moshe still wrote it as a small aleph. So there's a big takeaway here, that the idea that it was a chance occurrence that God called out to Moshe is unthinkable. Because Moshe is the one who saved as a baby, put in the basket, the whole Prince of Egypt movie. He sees the burning bush. He is called out to by God, Moshe, Moshe, take off your sandals, this ground is holy. And Moshe is the one who leads out the Israelites from Egypt. So to say that this is an accident, an occurrence, a random turn of events that Moshe is the one picked is really silly. And so obviously, Moshe was picked intentionally. But the reason we have the small aleph is to account for Moshe's humility. Because Moshe knows, yes, God picked me, because we have to write in Vayikra, God called out to me, but I don't want to make it all about me. It's not all about me. In fact, I'm just a humble servant of God. And so we'll write it with a small aleph to note that humility. And we say that Moshe was the most humble person ever to live. And it's such an important lesson that day in, day out, I struggle with, and I imagine others struggle with as well. The balance between our own humility of, I am nothing. I'm just serving a God. I'm just serving our community. I'm just serving the greater part, as Reb Moshe was talking about. And the balance between, I am special. I am something unique. I have a spark within me to give to others. And that's what real humility calls out. It's not just saying it happened to be that God found me, and it's not just saying that, yes, God picked me and I'm better than all of you, but it's saying something in the middle, a small aleph. I know that there's a larger purpose I'm a part of, and I also know that I am needed for that purpose. And it's with this humility that I would like to offer our prayer for Ukraine, which we've been saying the last couple weeks, which is, there should be a link in the chat, and also sheets were in the back. Because to offer a prayer for peace in a country around the world for a terrible war that is taking millions of lives takes an act of humility, of saying, this is way bigger than me, and we looking to the entire world, to the entire universe, the entire source of life for peace. Holy One, source of strength, war has begun and innocent people are dying. We ask your protection for Ukraine and its citizens. We pray for their safety and the security of the country and for their neighboring countries, Hungary, Poland, and Romania, among others, that have opened their borders to provide humanitarian corridors and safe passage for all those who wish to evacuate. We seek the comfort of believing that everything will be all right, even in the face of insurmountable odds. Quiet the fears that threaten to defend us. Grant us shlemut, the inner peace we so desperately seek. Help us remain calm and reach out to those in need. May this horrific situation be diffused with minimal casualties. Bless our world leaders with the ability to work together for the greater good and the wisdom to make wise decisions during this turbulent time. Bless the people of all nations with this desire, strength, and courage to create a world based on justice and filled with peace. May the words of Isaiah, "Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore," become true in our day and this very hour. Source of goodness, shine your healing light on us and all those in the Ukraine we hold in our hearts. Shelter us, shield us, show us the path to peace, and let us say,
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Hiu le'atzon, imrei fi, ve'yor libi lefanecha. Adonai suri, Adonai suri, vegoali, vegoali. Maybe so. Amen. As we reach towards the end of our service, we turn to page
Healing? What's that first?
44 for Aleinu.
Do you want to do healing before that? Healing before that? You want to do it at the end? Okay.
44. Aleinu לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת קריאה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנים גוי הארצות, ולא שמנו עם משפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו עמהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו echad. We may be seated. This week in our community, we are remembering the yurtzites of our loved ones, Ida Abrahams, Daniel Aarons, David William Califf, George Foreman, Samuel Lewis, Nettie Miller, Saul Pomerantz, Israel Rosenthal, Harold Silver. If you're commemorating a yurtzeit that is not mentioned and you want to put it in the chat, feel free to do so at this time to make it a part of our community. And if there's somebody here remembering a loved one, please feel free to say their name aloud at this moment. Kadisha Tom on page 48. I invite you to rise or sit as your custom. Yitkada v'yitkada shmei Rabbah.
Amen.
Bama divrach yote v'mich machutei b'chayechon uv'yemechon uv'chei dechol Beit Yisrael b'agala uv'zman kariv v'imru.
Amen.
Yehi shmei Rabbah mevrach le'olam olmei almaya.
Olmei olmaya.
Yisbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitmam v'yitnaseh v'yitada v'yitale v'yitala shmei dikrusha
Berechu.
Leila min kol berchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechamata damiran b'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlam barabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'hakol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'ramav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'hakol Yisrael v'hakol yeshvei tevel v'imru. Amen. Amen. Zichronam livracha. May their memories continue to be a blessing each and every day. Before we say a mishaberach, a healing for those in our community, as well as Kiddush, we have some brief announcements. The biggest announcement of all, which hopefully has been announced many times, and you've heard, I know it's been announced many times, but hopefully you've heard, is that our COVID policies are changed now. We are now mask optional, still vaccine required, as has been for a long time, but mask optional. If it makes you comfortable to wear your mask, please, please, please wear your mask. If it makes you comfortable to not wear your mask, please, please know that that is also okay. And we are a community that loves each other and strives to build each other up. And I know we'll continue to support each other in the decisions that we make in this strange, strange time. With that, Kiddush is also coming back. There's been a few trial runs, and it's fully coming back in the downstairs area in the community room. Those are the general bigadol announcements. And tomorrow morning, we have Torah study at 9 a.m. In the little room next to the community room. And we have the Bar Mitzvah 2.0 Bar Mitzvah anniversary, 50 years for 50 years. Wow. For Gary Cohen's Bar Mitzvah, come and you will get a program. And the best part of it is the photo of Gary when he's Bar Mitzvah. Following Shabbat services, which are at 10 o'clock, I realize I didn't say, but that's in the happenings as well. We have author Leah Hagar Cohen, who is an author of numerous works such as Train, Go Sorry, The Grief of Others, and an award-winning author, novelist, who will be here with Kiddush Talk. That will be in the sanctuary, so there will be a Zoom option as well as an in-person option. So we eat if you're in person, then we come up here and we have the Kiddush Talk at 1:15. Tomorrow night is a very special concert by Sold Out, a band by Aiden Margalit, and I know Gideon Gert Lind is also a part of the band, and other TBZ members I'm not sure of. It's a benefit concert for Dayenu, a Jewish call to action, tomorrow night. Highly recommend showing up. There is our continual Wednesday night.
Purim.
But not because the Purim, because it's Purim.
That's
which will
a
be,
big announcement for
I'm
the
saving
week.
that for last.
But my class will not take place.
Class will not happen this Wednesday night because of Purim, which I'll talk about last to get everybody pumped. A bunch more happening, which you can find out all in the happenings. And finally, Purim is this Wednesday night. Guess I'm the only one excited. So Purim is this Wednesday night. It'll be amazing. We have from 5 to 6 downstairs our Purim Carnival run by Beit Rabban. All are welcome though. And at 6:30 we start Spiel, Megillah. There'll be the bar in the back as usual. There'll be Megillah, Spiel, costumes, the whole shebang. Please come. It'll be a fun family event for all. Starting at 6:30, going until we finish the Megillah, which will be at a time. And all that and more, there's tons, as you can always see, a very thick packet, which you can check out in your happenings. And again, it's so great to be with everybody this Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom to all. And
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. And we will end before Kiddush with a Misha Berach for all those who are in need of healing at this moment. So if you're thinking of a loved one, please feel free to say their name aloud if you're in person, or type them in the chat. Yes. I'm just taking a, yeah. Sorry, Lori, one more time. Ernie Olin. My brother. Rachel Victor. Lena Barber. Yonatan Ben Hodel. Hanalea Batshir Sivan.
Diane Bolzer.
Mi sheberach avoteinu mikor abracha leimoteinu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi sheberach imoteinu mikor abracha leavoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Before we say Kiddush, just wanted to give a shout out to Erwin Pless. Those who don't know Erwin, he was one of the very instrumental people who helped us make the transformation from Temple Bet Zion to TBZ about 24 years ago. Talking, can you hear me now? Yeah? Oh, better, good. So Erwin Pless, today is his 97th birthday, and he's all there. Just saw him before the service, brought him some flowers and a card, and he's been inundated by all kinds of blessings, and he is going to try to be here tomorrow, even though I know it's inclement weather. So happy birthday, Yom Holedet Sameach. We can actually say bis 120 until 120, because Erwin might actually make it. So
Amen.
love to you, and we hope that you will have a wonderful, wonderful celebration today, and that you will continue to have health and happiness for the years to come.
Amen. Amen. Kiddush is found on page 50.
You're able to rise? Please rise.
Vayikra Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam barei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila l'mikrei kodesh zecher l'yetziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta im kol amim ve'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava u'ratzon hinchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbos.
Amen.
L'chaim, l'chaim.
L'chaim, l'chaim, Shabbos.
Good Shabbos. Osei shalom b'mirma. Hu yasei shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'al kol Yoshvei Tevel. Ve'imru. Amen.
So good to see all of you. Thank you.